For nearly 3 months, people have been protesting in Ukraine. There have been riots, reports of protesters being kidnapped from hospitals and being executed, and judges that sentenced these protesters being found shot dead. Former President Leonid Kravchuk stated last month that all the world acknowledges, and Ukraine acknowledges, that the state is on the brink of civil war. In order to fully understand the crisis, we need to go back in time. The vast majority of protests stem from the geography of Ukraine. Before 1991, Ukraine was part of the Soviet Union. With the collapse of the USSR, Ukraine's economy dwindled. As Ukraine matured from its newly granted independence, corruption began to flood Ukraine's government. In 2004, the Orange Revolution took place as a result of a highly controversial election that included allegations of media bias, voter intimidation, and poisoning of candidate Viktor Yushchenko. Although protesters remained peaceful, it is important to note how the geography played a role in the election. Ukraine has a population of 45 million. 20% of the population identifies as Russian, and the entire southeast half speaks Russian as their native language. However, the northern half speaks Ukrainian. The current president, Yanukovych, and the majority of parliament favor the southeast Ukrainian and Russian interests. The following graph shows the locations of current protests. As you can see, it is only the northeast half that is protesting the government. That's because in November 2013, after 5 years of talks, Ukraine was going to sign a free trade agreement with the European Union. Western Ukrainians had hoped the trade agreement would eventually lead to accession to the European Union. This could potentially end Ukraine's economic suffering and a more trustworthy democracy. However, President Yanukovych backed out on his promise to Western Ukrainians and canceled the agreement on November 20th, 2013. As a result, Western Ukrainians started to protest peacefully. That was until the Ukrainian government passed a series of anti-protest laws on January 16, 2014. These laws include the recriminalization of defamation, 15 days of incarceration for participation in a rally or protest with a mask or helmet, and even restrictions on internet media and freedom of communication. 4 days later, pro-Europe protesters aimed fireworks at Ukrainian riot police in Kiev. As a result, the Ukrainian police started to fight back at the protesters. In the past month, violence has only escalated. 5 were found dead and 300 wounded from the Kiev protest alone. On January 28th, Prime Minister Mikhailo Azarov resigned while the parliament repealed the anti-protest laws. However, things continue to only get worse. Financial experts have warned that Ukraine is on the brink of default. Ukraine's currency reserve may only be good for 2 months, and time is wearing thin. Ukraine has the impossible task to form a government that will not irritate Europeans and Americans, while also being able to go to Russia for financial aid. There is no easy resolution for Ukraine, and as former President Leonid Kravchuk stated, the country is on the brink of civil war, which may end up being the only possible solution to Ukraine's impossible task.